Hi, this is Vanessa Zamora. I am here today, and I am honored to be here today with Guy Kawasaki, who is directing manager over at Garage Technology Ventures, but also co-founder at Alltop. We're going to get right into it. I have about 3 or 4 questions I want to ask you and get this in and out. So in terms of VC right now, for startups, what advice do you have? It's with the economy. What do people do?
I think the best path for venture capital today is to put it off till as late as possible and to show up at a venture capitalist with a company or a product or a service or a website or whatever you have that's already has traction, that membership is growing. You may not have revenue yet, but at least you can prove that the dogs are eating the food if the food is free. It would be nice if they were paying for the food, but you know, it's not necessary. To show up at a venture capitalist today saying, well, trust me, look at my PowerPoint, look at my sketches, give me a year and $2 million and 5 engineers, and I promise you I'll deliver this. That dog doesn't hunt anymore. You need to show up saying, my buddy and I, we've been working on the weekends and in our garage, and it's taken us a year, but now we have this thing that's open or this product that's done, and we're already selling some, and you know, all that kind of. It's a much better story.
So it's just not as easy anymore.
Well, but on the other hand, things are much cheaper than before. With the open source movement and things like MySQL and PHP and Rails, I mean, you can really do a lot of damage for $10,000, $20,000.
Credit card.
Well, some people's credit cards.
Exactly. All right, let's shift pace a little bit. Social media is obviously the huge topic of the day. There's been a lot of talk lately about how Twitter may be taking traffic or maybe even superseding Google. So what's your opinion on that?
I find that a little optimistic. I know that there are certain kind of searches that are obviously much better on Twitter, right? And this would be, you want to follow what's happening at PubCon. Okay, if you type PubCon into Twitter, excuse me, if you type PubCon into Google, you'll find your website and, you know, some blogger wrote about going or some blogger wrote about what happened last year and all that, but that's really not current, right? You might find the address if you need it. But on the other hand, if you type, you know, hash PubCon in Twitter, you'll find out that, you know, Chris is on his way here and Guy's lost in a cab and, you know, what's happening here and all that. So that's more current. So it really depends on the kind of information. You know, if you wanted to know how many people live in China, I guess you could type that into Twitter and, you know, Lonely Boy 15 will tell you, you know, 3.6 billion people or whatever, right? But that's more of a Google kind of question. So it really depends on the question.
I see. Do you think there will ever come a time where they sort of intersect?
Well, you know, let's say you had a Macintosh and it wasn't going to sleep. You know, you shut the cover, but it won't go to sleep, and you open up your backpack, and 2 hours later, and you find out it's really hot because the disk has been spinning for the whole time and the battery's gone, right? Which happens to me. So you could type that into Google, you know, hard disk won't go to sleep. And you'll find some Apple tech note that says you have to do this. If you type that same question into Twitter, you would probably also get some Mac expert who says, you know, this is what you have to do. So, you know, it's not clear to me which one is better. For that kind of question, you could make the case that Twitter is better.
I see.
Now, you know, when you put that question into Twitter, it's a crapshoot. More than Google, because with Google, if Google points you to the Apple website tech doc that explains what to do, it could depend on that, right? But again, if Vanessa 15 says this is what you ought to do, who's Vanessa 15, right? I don't know, but so it can work.
Well, I see that you're obviously big on Twitter. I'm following you both on Alltop and your personal Twitter account. And how does that help you? How do you leverage Twitter at Alltop and vice versa for your own personal benefit?
Alltop would not be nearly what it is without Twitter. The Twitter community helps us figure out which topics, what feeds to put on Alltop. They spread the word about Alltop for us. Well, just in case your viewers don't know what Alltop is, it is really an online magazine rack where we aggregate websites and blogs by topic, and there are about 550 topics now, like socialmedia.alltop. And the Twitter community has definitely made Alltop successful. I don't know how we could do Alltop without it. And seeing how Twitter has impacted Alltop, I don't know how you could introduce a product without Twitter anymore.
It's amazing.
Yeah, because, you know, I have 81,000 close friends on Twitter. And they helped me spread the word. I don't know if Twitter didn't exist, how I could contact 81,000 people immediately and free and constantly. Mm-hmm. I have in my entourage address book about 12,000 email addresses, right? So I could hit them with an email. Problem with that is I can't hit them with an email 5 times a day, mm-hmm. right? I can hit them, you know, I hit that list once a year, right? And that's a limit. I could get away with more, but you know, it's on the order of magnitude of under 10 times a year. Mm-hmm. I do that 10 times a day.
Yeah, oh, I see you. You are busy.
Yeah, I'm a busy boy. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hear you have to go speak here.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah,
there's another little interview you got to do. But, so we'll let you get to that.
Thank you.
And have fun in Austin, South by Southwest, traveling everywhere.
Yep. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Buy some cowboy boots.
Yeah.